So there it is, guys, the ViparSpectra XS1000, their newest light, and what I believe to be a beautiful solution for a lot of you who are saying, I don't have a lot of money, but I want the best quality light that's gonna take care of the biggest space possible for my houseplants, my cuttings, or my seedlings. That's it! You guys have been asking me for a while now, what is a good light for my seedlings, for my cuttings, for my houseplants, all of it? Well, I'm going to attempt to answer that in this video, and I've got some special things going on here because if you've been watching for a while, then you know I'm really enjoying these ViparSpectra lights that we've got going on here. And I just got a couple more packages. We're going to do an unboxing, and don't worry, we are not going to get into all the nitty-gritty details because I know you guys don't care about that. You just want to flip the switch and get the light. We don't care how electricity works. We just want to know what works, what the best is, and how can we get it at an affordable price. Well, I think in this video, I've got some solutions for you guys, and I'm excited about what just came in the mail, so let's do an unboxing. So we've got two big old packages here. Well, one big one, one small one. Let's start off with this big package and see just what we've got inside. There it is, the XS1000. Isn't she a beauty? Look at that. This thing is basically two of the lights I have in my pepper growing tent. And we're going to go look at that in a minute. But we've got two of the Meanwell drivers here. Let's pull this up and look at all those beautiful diodes. Oh my lord, check that out. This thing is going to pump out the light. So I'm not going to go too in depth on this light right here. This is just a much bigger version of what you've already seen indoors. This is the one I'm really excited about for you guys. Let's get to the unboxing, and then I'm going to take you inside my house and show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's pretty cool. Look at that little beauty. Isn't she cute? Man, you guys are going to like this when I pull this out of here. This is the first time I've seen this, but I am excited about this. This is ViparSpectra's newest light. It's their smallest XS series light, and I've got some really cool ideas for this thing. You guys are going to like this. So I'm not going to spend too much time covering all the fine details because we don't care about how electricity works. We just want to flip that switch, remember? So let me just cover this real quick, real simple. Why I like these ViparSpectra lights, and especially now with their newer model, the XS series, because they're using top-of-the-line equipment components. They've got Meanwell drivers, Samsung diodes. They're built on a beautiful aluminum frame here that just dissipates the heat without electric fans and other parts that can go wrong. They've got a little dimmer here, and I love this thing. It's beautiful. When I take you inside, I'm going to show you why this dimmer has really turned out to be a lifesaver for me. And that's really all we need to know. It's a quality light. It's a really well-built, heavy-duty feeling light. I just love how they build these things, and it's got all the right components to grow some really nice plants. Because that's the bottom line, right, guys? We want to grow nice plants. Now, why am I excited about this particular light? Well, it's their newest light. They haven't made one this small yet. This is the XS1000, and it's 150 watts total. Now I'm going to take you inside my house and show you the XS2000 that they previously sent us that we're growing the peppers under, and you're going to see exactly why I'm excited about this light, not just for me, but for you guys as well. There go the chickens. For you guys as well, because there's some real potential with these LED lights and growing houseplants and seedlings and anything else. Here's the thing. Actually, let's just take you inside and show you the thing. All right, so here's what I wanted to show you guys. And this is everything I got going on inside the house growing wise right now. Yeah, look at that. Those are those willow, man. They're just growing like crazy. I love those things. And we've got some other projects going on. We're not really talking about those quite yet. Don't worry, we'll get to all that. But I had to show you this. I had to kind of give you little reveals because I had to show you the lights. We got our peppers growing in there. Quit looking at those. We got more videos coming. But this is the important thing. We got this ViparSpectra XS2000 in here, which I thought originally would be the perfect combination for a 27-inch by 27-inch grow tent. Don't worry, we're not going to get too technical here. I know you want to see those peppers. We're not going to get too technical here because I don't want to get too technical. I just want to have the fun, right? So let's do that. I'm going to show you in a second with this little meter, the par meter that we got last summer, and we're going to show you the difference between these these fluorescent lights and the energy they put out, the usable, what is it, PAR, photosynthetic active radiation. We're going to find out how much usable energy these lights put out versus the ViparSpectra, and then why that little light, their new XS1000, is going to be so awesome for houseplants. So just so you know, I originally put this XS1000, which goes up to 240 or 250 watts, in this little Mars Hydro 27 by 27 grow tent. It's about, I think it's 5 foot tall at the top there. I got this thing raised 3 foot above these pepper plants, and it was still putting out too much light on full power. I actually turned this thing down to 150 watts, and these peppers are growing way better. I'm trying not to show them to you, but I'm going to have to. We got that video coming out soon too, but let's get our little meter and see exactly how much light this is putting out, and then you'll understand why that little one's so cool. So this light's 3 foot up in the canopy, and you can see our little meter there. Look at that, if you go right under that light, it's about a foot. No, I didn't measure it, but it's about a foot below the light. We're at, look at that, 900 par, which is an amazingly high number. You could fruit just about any plant at that kind of a height with this light. Then we go down all the way where the plants actually are, and we are at 345, 350, somewhere in that range. So we're getting tons of par for vegetative growth on these little plants right here. Now, the really cool thing about that is this. For those of you that are into your house plants, we don't even need that much par, and I'm going to show you why right now. These are all of those little pothos cuttings. Look at that. Look at all those roots just filling out in those glass jars. 62 pothos cuttings. You guys saw that last video. I'll put links to all these videos I'm talking about here down in the description, but look at these guys. These were done last year. I haven't done much with them at all. They haven't been growing very fast because they're under such low lighting right here. It's right, there's a window right here, and that's the only lighting they ever get, and they're still growing beautiful and healthy, but they're houseplants. But let's put this little par sensor right here, shine up against the window, and we'll see what it's reading. We are at 8 par, 8. That's nothing, guys. These little pothos take such little light, as well as many other houseplants. So that's just the window right there, right? So let's talk about something else. 8 par at the window, because these windows have coverings over top of them, awnings, and I just don't get much light in through these things. But if we go down under here, under the table, I've got an 8 bulb fluorescent light. So these are T8 bulbs, but I actually took 4 of the bulbs out. So I've only got 4 T8 bulbs. That's 32 watts a bulb. You do the math. I can't do it off the top of my head and talk and walk at the same time. So let's get our little par meter. I'm going to get this guy dialed in here. Let's get turned on. Okay. We're about 2 foot underneath the light right here, sitting on top of this tote. And that's about the plant height of a lot of these. In fact, some of these are way higher up, but they started out right at the level of the tote right here. So let's look where we're at. 110, 111. Let's go further down in there. That's deeper, that's further back to the center of the light. 121 par, compared to the window light where the houseplants are growing really well. Now, last winter, sorry, I had a bunch of pothos and other plants underneath this light with 8 bulbs in here. And it was too much light, way too much light. Now I had some pothos under here with just 4 of the bulbs this winter earlier on, and it was still too much light. So here's where this gets really cool. Here we are, 117, 119 par. That is, you would think that that wouldn't be enough if you're trying to grow certain vegetables that most of us are not allowed to grow. But for house plants, that's what we're talking about, guys, these house plants. That little tiny ViparSpectra light, let's go back to that. Look at that. This thing's turned down to 150 watts, which is what that tiny little light I just unboxed. 150 watts, right? And we're at 360 par. All right, let's tie all this together for you because I'm a little excited about this and I get kind of carried away. But if we've got 360 par, 3 foot underneath this 150 watt light right here, and the house plants are growing in 8 par, just 8.0, 8, with a little bit of light coming through a window, And then I've got these fluorescent lights that are fluorescents that were like at 160 par, I think, or no, sorry, 120 par that we just found out. To grow these houseplants, you don't need much light at all. And that's where you guys, some of you were coming back and saying these lights, and we're going to go out here in a sec. I'm going to show you something that I think is going to be pretty cool when I set it all up here. But a lot of you are coming to me saying some of these lights are so expensive, but this light's going to be their cheapest light. And if you were trying to really fruit out plants and grow them to their full potential and finish them out like, you know, some of those plants, then you would need higher wattages. But for a lot of your house plants or seedlings or the things that we're growing here on this channel, you don't need those massive wattages, so you could get away with their smallest light. But the quality is still there. Those lights, trust me, I've been growing with those lights and these fluorescents for several years now. Well, those since last summer. But the fluorescents for several years. And I'm telling you, these LED lights, these ViparSpectra lights, outperform any fluorescent light. They've got full spectrum of light. You can now get that package, that quality full spectrum light in a smaller package for a smaller price. And it will, they're so powerful, as we're finding out, that they will light up a massive area and you can have lots of light. You don't have to have it in a 27 by 27 tent. It's too much light in here for houseplants anyway. You could put that thing up, I'm thinking, we're gonna try something here. I'm thinking 5 foot up and then turn that little light on at 150 watts and we're gonna see what the par is over a bigger area. I'll bet that little, more inexpensive light is gonna suit so many of your needs. I'm excited about this. Now this is what I want to show you. This is what it's all about. For those of you who stuck around, this light is going to revolutionize houseplant growers. Now I know I sound excited, and that's because I am, and I just can't help myself, but we're going to show you right now exactly why this is such a great light for you guys who are growing houseplants and seedlings. And here goes. This light right now is 5 foot 2 inches in the air. These are other lights I've got going on, but they're not on right now. The only one that's on is the ViparSpectra XS1000, and it is shining. Now, it looks little. This is a 3 foot by 3 foot grow tent. So this actually looks like a little light in here, and it is. And if you were trying to, like I said before, grow special plants, then you wouldn't want that size of a light in this size of a tent. But we're trying to grow house plants and seedlings, and we're trying to not just grow them, we're trying to grow them to their fullest potential. And that's what these full spectrum lights will do. Fluorescent tubes will not do what these little lights can do, and that's where this is going to become genius. So let me walk you through this. All right, so we got our little meter here, and first of all, when you're trying to grow special plants, this thing is made for a 2 by 2 grow tent. But the plants don't care what kind of light they got as long as they got enough light for that type of plant. So here we are. Typically, you would have this light under something that you're trying to actually produce a fruit, peppers, and you'd have like this thing maybe a foot, maybe 16 inches from the plant. And at that height, we're at about 513, 523 par in a 3 by 3 grow tent. In a smaller tent, that light would radiate off of the walls. But now if you go out at that same height to the edge here, you're only at, let's see if we can get in there, 84. Somewhere around 84. If I turn it towards the light, it's 115, but it drops off drastically out towards the edge. But this is where it gets beautiful for those of us who are growing house plants and seedlings and all kinds of cuttings and things like that indoor through the winter, or even your Japanese maples. We've already established by looking at those, comparing the window light from the fluorescent tubes to the ViparSpectra light, what kind of par we've got going on for what situation. Well, now here we are in this 3 by 3 grow tent, and when you come down 5 foot 2 inches in the center of this thing, you go from way up there, a foot below it, where the par was, what'd I say, 500 something, all the way down to here where the par is, can I read that? 40, oh, it turned off. Let's get it back on. 46 par, 45 par, right in the center of the tent, which we just discovered is more than enough to grow these houseplants, and it's full spectrum light, so you're going to get a much more quality plant out of it. Now, if we go, this is where it gets beautiful, if we go all the way to the edge of the tent, We're all the way over on the edge. I'm going to hold it there. You see that? All the way to the edge in the middle. We are still at 39, 38, 39, somewhere in there, 39 par, which is more than adequate. The par doesn't change much because the light is so high up in here and it's spreading out over a broader area. Yes, you're getting a lower par down here, but you don't need a massive par for seedlings, houseplants, and cuttings. And you've got a big 9 square foot area to grow all of these things. I almost wonder if you could have a 5x5 grow tent, have this thing 5 foot up in the air, and still get a good enough par to germinate and do cuttings and things like that in a much bigger area. Anyway, I'm excited about the potential. Let's try one more thing. I'm going to go all the way to the corner here. Let's go to this corner over here. We'll see what we get all the way in that back corner over there. We're still at, look at that, 49 par. 49 par. And then back to the middle. Let's go back to the middle of this thing. Right in the middle. That's crazy. 46. It's almost more at the edge because of the light reflecting from the walls. So this thing is across the board pretty much a nice even par to grow all of your houseplants, all of your seedlings, you know, anything that you want to just get low light vegetative growth out of. You got much bigger area, and now you've got a cheaper solution because these guys just came out with this XS1000. Like I said, it'll be out on March 15th. And by the way, there will be links in the description here if you guys want to buy those. You can get the discount code. Don't forget to put in the discount code because you'll get some money off on that. But March 15th, it's coming out. All right, hold on for a sec, guys. This gets even better. I just realized after trying to start taking all this down, I had the thing turned at just under 50% power. I didn't even have it on all the way. Let's check this out. I can't believe I missed that. There it is, 150 watts, full power in the 3x3 grow tent. Now, let's take a look at the par. Here we are in the middle. I haven't looked at this yet. 99 par. Look at that, 99 par. So it's double what we just found, and I just cranked it up all the way. Let's go out to the edge here. All the way in the corner there. 107, it's higher in the corner, and like I said before, it's because the light is actually bouncing off the walls down to the corners there. So we're getting such a beautiful even spread. Let's go over to the side here. And we've got, turn that back on, 94. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Let's just do in the middle, about a foot out from the wall. See if that little guy will stand up there. So there it is, about a foot from the wall, and we're at 97. Look at that. So I can't believe I did that. I had the thing turned down by 50%. So here we are. That just proves it out. If we've got close to 100 par all the way around, even spread, you're going to get even more beautiful plant growth in there. Anything that you want to grow is going to sprout, germinate, root, you know, fully vegetate out, and you could do it. You could grow these low light house plants or do any of these seedlings or cuttings in, I know you could do it in a 5x5 tent now. You could have even more space to grow what you're trying to grow. So there it is, guys, the ViparSpectra XS1000, their newest light, and what I believe to be a beautiful solution for a lot of you who are saying, I don't have a lot of money, but I want the best quality light that's going to take care of the biggest space possible for my houseplants, my cuttings, or my seedlings. That's it. As far as that bigger light, I've got some plans for that. I got some ideas. Imagine what that thing could do hung up in a 12 foot by 12 foot room way up high. I'll bet it would light the whole room. It's total of 480 watts, so you could get really serious. If you had more money and wanted to get into that, then you could light up an entire room. I am convinced. When I walk through places like Home Depot and Lowe's and those other stores and I see what their lighting is like in there, they've got these big metal halide bulbs, but they're 20 foot up in the air, it seems like, and they're spread out over 30 feet, 30 by 30 area. And those house plants in there are growing beautifully. And I know the PAR levels down at those plants are not that high when those lights are way up in the sky. We've basically duplicated that scenario in a smaller area. Smaller money, smaller light, but all of the quality of the LEDs. The future's in the LEDs, guys. If you want quality, beautifully growing plants to just grow to their full potential, you know, I don't care whether you buy from this company or not. I think, in my opinion, they're one of the best out right now, but you got to get into the LEDs. They're just the way to go, and I'm trying to show you the components and the lights that I think are just the best of those categories. So once again, I'll have all the links down below, discount codes to these lights. If you're interested in checking them out, it doesn't cost anything to click and see exactly what they cost and then how much you'll get off with the discount. Thank you to the ViparSpectra company for sending these lights so that we could do all these little tests and see exactly how well they grow. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys learned as much from this video as I did from making this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to follow along and see more fantastic gardening videos. Have a fantastic week, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios!